we're actually bringing out some truths, peel back the layers of all this fluff.
Shining the light on this industry as a whole.
Maybe you should stay away from it.
Hi everybody, welcome to Real Estate Raw&Uncut. This is episode 107. I'm Byron Lazine. He's Tim Bray. He's finishing lunch. Came over to the to the desk here. And Dexter's a lot bigger than probably the last time he was on the show. You gonna be able to hold him this whole?
No.
No, not. Look at that.
He's just cleaning me up.
Cleaning you up from lunch. He should clean the salad out of my teeth because I think I got a little.
Oh.
got a little something going on there. We got a quick one here today. We want to touch on if you're.
Which episode is this?
This is 107. I think I said it.
I missed it. I was eating a sandwich.
So we want to touch on a topic that if you're a real estate broker or an agent, I'm sure you're aware of it. I'm sure you've heard about it, and consumers probably aren't paying as much attention to this topic. But if you're in the game, you certainly are, and that's your status as a independent contractor. Now, if I'm a top producing agent, I'm not looking for this status to change at all, right? I want to keep, that's why I'm in this game. I'm an entrepreneur. I want to be an independent contractor. I want to be able to dictate how I run my business and how I operate. But there are some lawsuits happening in this country right now against brokerages where there's attorneys. We know how these attorneys roll. They see an opportunity to put together a class action suit or get together some real estate agents and sue the brokers for treating their agents as employees.
Yeah, we're seeing that a lot. So there is a difference, though. I think when you look at sometimes when you work for a broker and maybe they have certain systems in place, certain things that they do that are different than other brokerage firms. Maybe it's contact management systems. Maybe it's a way of evaluation system that can make you sign a non-compete, or maybe a confidentiality.
That's the big one right there. When I spoke to Sotheby's Global in Vegas last month, there was a breakout session and somebody from corporate was actually talking about this topic, and you nailed it. The brokers that are out there signing non-competes, that is really kind of saying, hey, you're an employee, you can't go anywhere to that agent.
Are you being paid? Is it 30 hours a week, 40 hours a week? What's your status?
So that one there is interesting. Now, some of the other things you see a lot in real estate offices is floor time, right? Which means the broker or brokerage is telling you as the agent, you've got to be in the office.
He's a big baby.
He's not doing no floor time. And you've got to be there, say, Monday 9 to 1, and then somebody else takes it from 1 to 5, and you've got to be answering the phones. The brokerages have to be careful and make this optional.
That's right.
They can't say you have to do that, or mandatory floor time, or mandatory, taking out the trash, because now they're basically telling that person, you're an employee of mine, but they're not paying the benefits.
That's right.
Right?
Best of both worlds.
You can't have it both ways.
That's
right. We know some brokerages in the area doing
it's
3-year non-competes and
and they also say in there, I know it's if you cannot compete against any other brokerage firm that's within 25 miles of the primary office in which you signed up for.
Right.
You can't do business because this company is within. It strategically is within. It's got like 25 miles. It has another office.
Yeah.
So they're basically taking you out of the real estate business as a whole.
Absolutely. Now let's flip it on for the consumer side, how this affects consumers. If, say, the whole entire industry changed for whatever reason and everybody became an employee, where do you think that goes, or where does that take the service that the consumer is receiving right now?
There are a couple different models that you can look at, because some of them, you look at like a Redfin. You look at some of these models that are out there that are trying to employ these strategies where you divvy up the different components of a transaction.
Yep.
Are you putting the property on the market? What's that entail? Are you doing the negotiations? Are you doing the inspections? What is it? Are you letting somebody through the door? And each one of those may be a paid position. But my question, your question is, are you losing value?
Right.
I think it depends on the agent that's involved and where their heart is.
Yeah.
I'm not necessarily, well, I don't know if I can make that statement. I'm working pretty darn hard. If you were to put a monetary value on what I get per hour, and probably you as well, for the number of hours that you're putting in, we'd probably be better off working at McDonald's.
Well, we're a little nuts on the number of
Overtime.
hours we're working. But where I'm going with this is, right now you have all these different levels of real estate agents because it is an easy business to get into, 60-hour class you're in Connecticut. So you've got all these different levels of service that you're receiving from the consumer. If the consumer does their homework and finds an agent that's adding a ton of value, they're going to be all set. Now, if everybody's the same and everybody's an employee making the same wage, where's the motivation for that individual to go out and provide top service as opposed to, our team?
Or to master your craft.
True entrepreneurs, and the only way we're going to be able to grow our business is if we
Or better than
better the competition. The only way you're going to do that is if you add extreme value to the client.
Everybody gets a trophy, though.
Right. Well, I'm not even going to get into them.
We do not, anybody that's watching, geared towards baseball, soccer, anybody that knows me in general, not everybody gets a trophy.
Definitely not in real estate, that's for
So
sure.
because I don't believe that sets our kids up for real life.
Right.
And what we're dealing with, we get to pick and choose who we work with.
And
So do they.
Well, there's a lot of people that think the minimum wage should be doubled in this country. I actually think there should be no minimum wage. That's a whole different topic.
It's all earned.
It's all earned, and to some degree you got to have some kind of a baseline. But raising the minimum wage isn't going to be the answer to bring more value to the economy. So
You may be giving it some handouts.
and I don't think in real estate having everybody as an employee is ultimately going to be what's best for the consumer. I think having a multitude of options and keeping some regulation out of it is what is going to help the consumer. So
Yeah.
a lot of private options and
I think what it does come down to the consumer and what's in their best interest.
Absolutely.
And I definitely believe that having an independent contractor on your side is probably better than having somebody that's employed.
yeah.
That's my.
Think about where you work, and you're probably looking around your office or your shop or whatever environment you work in, and you're probably all day long saying, geez, I'm making X amount and these 10 individuals aren't working as hard as me and they're making the same. Well, that's how it would be if we had everybody running around as employees in this industry.
So this isn't the end of this one. We're going to see a
No,
lot about this.
I think we're going to continue to see people see opportunities, attorneys see opportunities. We'll continue to see lawsuits, and brokers are going to have to shift. And yeah, it's definitely something to keep an eye on. So next time, see ya.